What's going on, guys? Derek Blackman here. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk about Machine Gun Kelly and his album that just dropped like a week or so ago, Mainstream Sellout, because I don't get it, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers just don't add up to me. I'm not seeing people enjoying this album, people that enjoy the pop punk genre. I'm one of those people. I'm actually a big fan. I like a lot of pop punk bands, and I was pretty sad when, and this happens with a lot of genres, right? People move away from it. It's not like it naturally died out. People just do this follow the leader thing. It kind of reminds me of MySpace dying out. It's because the Facebook advertising was really good. A lot of people went onto it for whatever reason. I couldn't understand it. I was like, MySpace is infinitely better than this blank page. There's nothing on here. There's no music. Why are people on here? To essentially, no one was left on MySpace. And it's like, well, I guess I have to use Facebook because I have to interact and promote my music and do whatever I can on here because nobody's on MySpace anymore. And I see the same thing happening with genres where pop punk has always been a huge force. It's been very enjoyable to people. But then a lot of people, some of the biggest bands just moved away from it for whatever reason. You know, I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, to be honest. A lot of people would criticize Disturbed for that, like, oh, they always sound the same. I mean, I don't think their audience cares. I think they're loving it. They're still killing it. They don't care at all. So my whole point being that it seems like people that really like pop punk, I guess, are just absorbing this, or maybe a younger generation that never really experienced pop punk because there was nothing going on. Like Paramore and everybody, Fall Out Boy, all those people, they all kind of just went away, right? They just kind of just went away. And by the time these kids started growing up a little bit, they didn't have those iconic songs blasting them in the face on the radio, on MTV or whatever. So maybe they're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Because when you look at, we're going to look at some of these numbers right here for this album. They're incredibly impressive. Like, you know, obviously Machine Gun Kelly is a very popular person. He was a pretty popular rapper. I mean, a lot of people saw his Rap Devil thing. He did a diss at Eminem, and a lot of people were like, "This is pretty good." People weren't like there wasn't just a large amount of people saying this is trash. I remember hearing it. I don't remember what it sounds like, but when I heard it, I remember being like, this isn't a bad diss track. And then, of course, you know, Eminem came back and destroyed him. And people are saying this is why he jumped ship and why he's into pop punk anyway. But when you look at these numbers, man, like maybe with Bring Me the Horizon, 21 million, 34 million for that terrible song, Emo Girl. A featuring Lil Wayne, 21 million. And then everything else has millions of hits. You got almost 10 million for, like, it's impressive streams. This guy has a huge presence, and it's like apparently there's a lot of people enjoying this. I just haven't seen them. I haven't seen the people like in my group or my surroundings or people that are in the music industry, and they're like, oh yeah, this shit's pretty dope. So that's why it's so surprising because this album sucks. I mean, it just does. And look, it's not even me being biased. It's not that, you know, I don't like Machine Gun Kelly as a person. That doesn't mean, you know what I mean? That's not affecting my opinion on the music. It's just it's generic. There are some good moments, but it's largely, I would say 95% just him. This Machine Gun Kelly is just so bland. Like when it comes to the pop punk genre, pretty much the only thing you need is a vocalist that has passion and heart. That's it. That's pretty much all you need. And he's lacking that. It's just so generic and boring. Like he can't sing at all. And that's not really even a problem. There's a lot of really popular bands. I mean, think about Simple Plan. You remember that band, Simple Plan? That singer sounded like nails on a chalkboard to me. That really nasally, just whiny singing, that wasn't talent at all. But people loved it. It's because it made them feel emotional. It was very emotional music, right? Very emo, pop punk, it's all kind of meshed together, right? And when you hear him sing, it's just so boring and bland. I know a lot of you have already heard the Emo Girl. You heard Emo Girl. Like you hear even with him like bellowing, it just sounds like he's kind of asleep. It's not good. And there's some songs in here where I'm like, oh, I like the beat, I like the riff, it's pretty good. And then he starts singing, you're like, oh man, I can't listen to this. I can't listen to this at all. And there's something interesting about this. I want to skip up to the Maybe track featuring Bring Me the Horizon, where if I click on this, I wonder there must be credits for Paramore. I'm assuming there's credits because there was that, I think her name's Olivia Rodrigo, where there was that song called Good For You, where Paramore got credited for that because it sounded pretty similar. But this, like a part of it, it's just like, it's blatant. So I'm assuming that they got credited too. Like there was like a permission thing because you're not fooling anyone. But God, does it feel so good? Because I got him where I want it right now. But listen to those vocals though. Like, you know, that's, okay, yeah, Paramore, blah, blah, blah. Listen to that. Listen to that. Let you go. Like, what the fuck is that? What is that? That sounds so terrible. And then we already know about the emo girl song, right? And then there's this song Drug Dealer, where it's essentially like the same thing, but just about a drug dealer. And it sucks because when I listen to this riff, it's pretty good. I like the mood. It's just hearing him over it. It sounds so like, it's like, damn, dude, assemble a band, play guitar, get somebody who's really talented to sing. And then this can be an actual good record, you know? This can be a really good record because it's not just completely terrible. It's not like everything about it is bad, is what I'm saying. Like, I heard a cover of him doing, he did a cover of Aerials by System of a Down, and the music was pretty cool, but hearing him sing it, it's just bad. And like, I feel bad for the people that are surrounded by him. You know, I'm sure they're getting paid very well, and I'm sure they're like, oh, this sucks, but hey, man, at least I'm doing my job, playing music. This is pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to go through everything on here, but the last thing I do want to point out is he's self-aware. He's self-aware of what people think of him, largely, like critic-wise and stuff, even though the numbers are, you know, like his last album that came out a couple years ago, Tickets to My Downfall, did really well, certified platinum, which is kind of insane, but, you know, he's got the numbers. But in this song, Mainstream Sellout, he's just singing exactly about what people are saying to him. It's a bad song overall.
Poser with a guitar and a choker, hiding your sunglasses. I made an album, they hate the tracklist. Yeah.
So, yeah, people were looking at this, and they're like, this sucks. They think he's a poser, which, I mean, let's be real. Like, he obviously is. It's one of those things where I can't give anybody credit, even as much as I was annoyed when Lil Wayne, what was that album called, like Rebirth or something? When he did his whole thing with his terrible guitar playing, when he's strumming it with his thumb and everything. Even that, I was like, you know, I'll at least give him credit for really doing something bold, really stepping out of the genre. And I actually felt passion from Lil Wayne too. Say what you want about him, but I feel like a lot of passion does come in his music. His vocals like really cut through, and that's something that I appreciate. That even on the when he features on here, where it's like, oh, I don't like MGK's part, but Lil Wayne sounds okay actually. I'm like, well, it's not that bad, really. It's not that bad at all for Lil Wayne, because it's like I believe him when he's saying stuff. I don't believe anything that MGK is saying. It doesn't feel, even if the lyrics are personal and he's talking about like struggles that was happening within his own life, it just falls flat with how flat he sounds, you know? And this is a very emotional genre. It's like, this is where you're supposed to be emotional. Even right here where he's bellowing the Mainstream Sellout thing, where it's just, I'm like, dude, you just sound fucking terrible, man. You're not a vocalist. You're not a singer. I imagine with enough training, he can be really well, and he has plenty of resources to do so. But I feel like his ego won't let him do that. I feel like he's just going to do what he's doing. It's making a ton of money. He's killing it. He's killing it. I mean, he's somehow killing it. So why does he have to do anything different? I don't know, man. I definitely wouldn't recommend this album to people that like rock, pop, punk, emo, stuff like that. They're, you just got to stick to the classics for now. And this makes me kind of want to step into this genre because it's not like it's something that I like. I said at the beginning of the video that I'm a fan of pop punk. I'm a fan of emo and stuff. And actually, I think this was in 2007. I was writing some songs. I actually have a couple of tracks recorded. I'll try to dig them up and maybe react to them. They're just instrumentals. But I was putting together a band. My friend Tim was the rhythm guitarist, and we were really going for a. I don't know if you've heard of the band Scary Kids, Scaring Kids. It was kind of like that. It was like emo, pop punk, post hardcore kind of a thing. We're trying to fit into that genre because Tim's uncle was the owner of, I don't know if he still is, but at the time was the owner of Fearless Records. And Fearless Records is notoriously known for signing a lot of bands like that. They started the whole punk goes pop thing. If you guys remember those volumes, a lot of the covers are really pretty, like they're pretty good. I liked a lot of the covers. One of my favorite covers was Volumes covering Come On, We're Going Home. It's one of my favorite ones. What was it? A Day to Remember did a good one of Over My Head, like everybody knows I'm in over my head. Like I liked what they were doing, and I really wanted to be a part of that. I would love to have been on that record. I at least knew, okay, his uncle will at least listen to our demo. If it's good, they'll probably give us a shot. Then things kind of disbanded from there. That happened, whatever. It is what it is. But I was definitely trying, and I've always been a fan of this genre, especially the people that can really kill it, people that are like really good singers, not like the nasally annoying people that can't sing at all, and then they just need pitch correction, but the people who can really just bellow and kill it. So it's something to me that I kind of even, maybe I might even experiment with. I've been saying to myself that I wanted to write some original music probably in the summer, late summer, still just kind of practicing my chops and really refining my craft, especially when it comes to engineering. Doing a lot of covers has helped me out a lot. But yeah, hearing this album and listening to it front to back and thinking that the amount of attention it's getting, I'm like, yo, man, maybe it's time to really just bring this genre back. A lot of stuff's already starting to come back, like new metal. New metal is something that a lot of people are trying to just shoo away and be like, get this out of here. We're over it. And I'm like, dude, how about y'all just keep doing what you're doing, and then like the people that like it are never going to stop listening to it. So stop listening to other people tell you that this is out or this is in, like, oh, you can't do this anymore. You can't do pig squeals anymore. Like, just shut the hell up. Do what you want to do. All right? Just do it. And eventually it's going to stand the test of time, in my opinion, at least. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm sure a lot of you guys are just going to trash it, which is totally fine with me. Maybe there's some tracks on here. Maybe you are pleasantly surprised. If you are a fan of this, I would love to hear why you like it, Maybe, and like I said, I promise I'm not going to trash on you for if you do dig it, because it's not for me. If Machine Gun Kelly's voice it's just, I'm just not feeling it. But maybe there are some people that like that mellow, droney kind of sound, whatever. But all right, guys, take care. See you in the next one.